From the years 1861 to 1865, the United States was embroiled in a brutal civil war. You will each take a side of this war to write your own history and tell your own version of these events. This is Rebel Tide, which was designed by Gregory M. Smith and published by Compass Games, who helped sponsor this video. Hi everybody, my name is Nick Murphy of the Brothers Murph, and we are here with Board Game Geek. Well, the troops are ready to go, so let's get this game down to the table to go a little more in focus on Rebel Tide. In Rebel Tide, two players will take on the two sides of the Civil War, the USA and the CSA. This game uses the deck building system seen in Pacific Tide. The action takes place over 5 years of the Civil War, and each year is one round of the game. At the start of the year, players will gain access to new cards. Starting in 1862, the year overview card will also grant each player a certain number of build points to buy back previously used cards and customize their strategy for the coming year. The cost to buy back a card is shown in the bottom right in red. Note that if a card has a star, it cannot be bought back, which does make sense. You can't redo the Gettysburg Address. Note that rebuying cards is done secretly, so the other player doesn't know what the player has taken back into their hand. After the build phase, players will go back and forth taking actions. This is usually done by playing a card from their hand. The cards often will have many actions on them, and the player must activate these from top to bottom, though none of the actions are mandatory. At the bottom of the card, it will usually say pass the turn, which means the other player will then take their turn. Cards will often allow you to move your troops. Infantry units may move 1, and cavalry, leaders, and artillery may move 2. Though if the infantry is moving along rivers or rails, they may move 2. Note that you may move units from the area that is activated to different areas. They don't all need to stay together. Movement may also be used to make your infantry and cavalry entrench, which will help them defend. Another main thing that a card will do is allow you to attack. Note that when you attack, it is always one area attacking another. Unlike other war games, you may not attack with multiple adjacent areas into one area. It is always 1v1. You will count up your strength, which is denoted by your units, and you will roll on the combat results table. Your strength and what you roll will determine how many enemy units you eliminate. So therefore, if you have 5 strength and you roll an 8, you will eliminate 3 enemy units. Though many things can affect this table. For example, if you're attacking an entrenched enemy, you will shift 1 strength level to the left, which is worse due to them having a defensive position. Whereas if you have a combined arms bonus, meaning you have at least 1 infantry, 1 cavalry, and 1 artillery in the fight, you will shift 1 column to the right, which is stronger. If the defender lost more units than the attacker can attempt to advance. They will make a leadership roll if they have a leader in the area. If they roll equal to or less than their leadership level shown here, they will advance and the defender will have to retreat. If there is no leader in the area, the default leadership level is 2. Cards may also allow you to place new units. Each side has major reinforcement areas shown with 2 stars, which can take 2 strength of units, and minor reinforcement areas which can take 1 strength of unit. If on their turn the player does not want to play a card, they can use a resource point. Each player gets a certain amount of resource points shown on the year overview card. Once per year, you can use a resource point to attack or move, and this works in the normal way, but mostly you use them to replace your units. To increase your unit's strength in an area, you must have an unbroken line of areas you control going back to your starting area. This political track shown here represents the powers in Europe and their willingness to recognize the Confederacy's legitimacy as a nation. Multiple things in the game can affect this track. If the CSA gets the political track to +5 before the end of 1863, they immediately win the game as France and England recognize them as a legitimate nation. If it gets to -5, the political track is no longer in play at all and any other political movements are ignored. Once both players have used all of their cards or decide to pass, the round will end and it will move to the next year. This brings out a new year card and players will get to buy back previously played cards and play will continue. The game will end in a CSA victory if they get the political track to +5, if they control all 4 major reinforcement areas of the Union, or if at the end of the game they still control all 4 of their own major reinforcement areas. The Union will win if they ever control all 4 of the CSA's major reinforcement areas. And that is a quick look at Rebel Tide. Rebel Tide follows in the footsteps of Pacific Tide, which is by the same designer. This is mainly done through the card buyback system. How you use those build points and which cards you secretly take back into your hand is a critical part of the game. You will have to use those cards and manage your troops effectively to become victorious. And if Rebel Tide seems like a game you'd enjoy, make sure to check it out and learn more. And until next time, I've been Nick Murphy and we've been going in focus on Rebel Tide. Have a great day.